A lot of times we'll hear, this isn't an emergency, but
911 dispatch centers take a shocking amount of calls that have nothing to do with emergencies. We all know that when you have an emergency, you call 911.
But often, the dispatchers who work in those call centers are tied up with people looking for information. As 9 and 10's Adam Bartlemay found out in this special report, there are other surprising things that have 911 operators distracted.
Grand Traverse 911, what's the address of your emergency?
There's a bat in the house. Is that considered an emergency?
No matter how frightening that may seem,
I'm freaking out. There's a bat in the living room.
that is not considered an emergency. Grand Traverse County 911 call center dispatchers say they get between 25 and 45 non-emergency calls every day.
People think they're calling pizza places, or people call from when they're in a hotel room because you have to hit 9 to get an outside line.
We want to do a delivery.
What kind of delivery?
We want to do a chicken ranch wrap.
they call for telephone numbers or directions. I've had people afraid to open up their microwave doors while it was still running, for fear that it might do harm.
Administrative Supervisor Leah Hornacek says you should call 911 only if you need police, fire, or ambulance.
If your life or property is in immediate threat or danger, or there's some sort of harm coming your way, that's what an emergency line is for.
Calling with non-emergencies could tie up operators if they're dealing with a large-scale event, like the storms from this past August.
If something were to go wrong, that takes away one of our 911 lines, it takes away one of our dispatchers because they're tending to that call in the event somebody had a real emergency.
The biggest reason for non-emergency calls? Pocket dials. According to the FCC, there were 84 million accidental 911 calls placed nationwide last year. 50% of them were the result of pocket dials.
A lot of people, honestly, they don't realize that they've called.
And here's something else you might not have thought about. You know that old cell phone you gave your child? Well, even though service may not be activated on it, it can still call 911. And if your child accidentally calls the service, these dispatchers still have to find out where it came from.
Hi, Gemma.
Hi, can I talk to your mommy?
No.
Let me talk to your mommy.
Mommy, Wyatt, are you being a good boy for your mom? No.
On top of that, if you make an accidental call and hang up and don't answer when 911 calls back, they're required to send first responders to your location. They have to assume you're having an emergency.
Okay, we'll send somebody out to see you.
Sometimes it's a 2-officer response, so you're pulling 2 officers off the road because it potentially could be a dangerous situation.
With that in mind, 911 dispatchers will greet your non-emergency call with this friendly reminder.
Typically, I ask them if they have a pen and paper, and I'll give them the non-emergent number and let them know that our 911 lines themselves are for police, fire, and medical emergencies, and that when they're tied up, these other people can't get through because we only have so many lines.
In Traverse City, Adam Bartlemay, 9 and 10 News at 6.